You survived the Miami weekend, nailed the speech, and maxed out your credit card in the name of friendship. Now you've got one hangover, 4 pastel dresses, and 0 reasons to wear them again. Sell them on Depop. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. And you at least get some of your dignity, money back. Someone on Depop wants what you've got. Start selling now. Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
Springfest means more sun, more fun, and more free at Lowe's. Keep your yard in line with an additional free Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a select Ego mower, trimmer, or blower. Plus, keep landscaping fresh with Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
You can support this podcast at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, a temp worker struggles to keep a company outing on track. What he doesn't know is that all his fellow employees at this fake business are actors. We'll talk about season 2 of the hidden camera comedy Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband, love of my life, Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us, private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, and author of The Final Curtain, Laura Bricker. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Rebecca.
And finally, it is our captain of all things cynical, author of the City Trilogy, host of Rip Current, More Like Ancient Phalians, Strange Arrivals, and our Patreon Deep Dive Book Club podcast, Toby Ball. Hello, Toby.
Hola, buenas.
So, Kevin?
Yeah.
This is Monday's program.
Yes.
What's coming up on Thursday's show?
On Thursday, we're going to talk about podcasts from KUOW. No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Did I get those call letters right?
You did.
Yeah, they're out of Seattle, and it's from their investigative unit. It's called Adults in the Room.
Okay.
Rebecca, are you going to say hi to one of our new favorite listeners?
Well, I don't know if she's listening to this episode.
She's probably listening, right? Just assume that she's listening.
I'm going to assume she's listening. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Jenny Lawson, otherwise known as the Blog S. I interviewed her on stage last night in front of like 1,000 people, and it was awesome. She's got a huge following. I've been reading her stuff since the early 2000s. She is one of the people who inspired me to become a writer on the internet. Her, Tara Ariano, and Sarah D. Bunting. I got fired from a job once for reading their shit way too much. And
Did you tell her all that?
Yes, I literally said it on stage.
Yeah.
And when I walked into the dressing room last night to see her, I was like, I can't believe I'm meeting you. I'm such a big fan. She's like, I'm a big fan of yours. I just listened to your episode about Neighbors. And I was like, what? So cool. So anyway.
Wow.
That is cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was very exciting for me.
It's great when we meet a very successful person who is also digs our stuff too. So
Don't you want to just be like, tell everybody, please.
Tell everybody, yes.
Tell your millions of followers to listen to our podcast, please.
Yeah, well, you got a nice shout out on her social media feed.
Yeah,
so.
that was really nice. Anyway, should we talk about the thing we're talking about, Kevin?
Let's do that.
All right. Leading off.
Introduce yourself and tell us where we are.
Okay. Hello, my name's Anthony Norman. I'm here at... Sorry.
You can do it again.
Okay. Rockin Grandma. Sorry. First day here.
Temp worker Anthony Norman has been hired to assist on a small company's staff retreat. CEO Doug Womack is about to turn over Rockin Grandma's hot sauce to his son. But when Dougie Jr. makes a huge mistake, his father considers selling the family business to some shady investors.
We get back and turns out that he had made the sauce with Taco Bell hot sauce.
Yeah.
That's like, trying to sell something that isn't ours. So that's
like
why.
catfishing.
Yeah, it's kind of like catfishing. So he catfished hot sauce.
While smiling his way through bizarre seminars and twisted team-building exercises, Anthony's suspicion of the investors' motives increases. But what he doesn't suspect is that both the business and the documentary they're shooting are fake, and everyone around him is an actor.
I real life feel like I'm on a TV show and not a documentary. Like, this is something that honestly, maybe not, because this is not something that you can just make up.
The Emmy and Golden Globe-nominated Peabody Award-winning team behind Jury Duty returns with Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. This time, the hidden camera, semi-scripted comedy has its hero provide emotional support to Rockin Grandma's quirky staff while trying to save this family business from corporate vultures. The show shoots for all the feels, simply by putting a regular person in a situation to do the right thing. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. So, if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. Kevin, we loved season 1 of the show so much.
That was my number one pick for that year, which was 2023.
I believe it was mine as well. This season doesn't start as dryly as season 1 did, right? And I remember, I could be remembering wrong. In my memory, season 1 started with a lot more of a naturalistic setting, sort of naturalistic acting. And this season started, I think, a little more surreal, in my opinion. It took me a couple episodes to sort of warm up. And I think it took everyone who's working on the show to kind of calm down a little bit as the thing progressed. Did you have the same feeling?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it was different. Obviously the setting in Jury Duty was the court. And so it sort of had this like contained feel and, the reason for everybody to be there. James Marsden walks in and I don't... Yes, James Marsden. These funny things happen. And also, one of the differences, I think, and this has occurred to me, is that who was Ronald? Was that the hero in the first one?
Yep.
It's largely in that situation, it was largely passive, right? Because he needed to sit there as a juror. We sometimes see his reactions to things, and then they create other ways to make him an active participant. And here Anthony is this assistant, so everything is active. And they open this up quite visually at this retreat camp and whatnot. It took me a little bit to be charmed by Anthony. I mean, he was obviously very positive, but I think that we know now, having watched the first one, what the hero's job is and the things that we are looking for. We're not looking for somebody who is going to be the butt of the joke. We're looking for somebody who's got a good heart, and we're trying to see how we can get them to react to different things, but will they do the right stuff? Will they make the good choices? And in a very positive way and not just sort of a reality TV queen way, right?
And I was trying to get your attention. It's just you got to roll with the punches, man. You're in charge now. They're gonna follow you. So keep your head up, man. Try to think with the positives. Everybody loved the sauce. I don't know how many cases got ordered, but Kate told me there was a bunch of people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you're doing good work, man. Keep rolling with the punches, boss. You got it.
So, Laura, one of the things that I thought about later in the show, because I came to really, really love Anthony a little bit into the show, is that he is a temp, right? So a temp has a very different role than a member of a jury. A member of a jury gets picked. They are who they are. A temp is in many ways trying to impress the people he's working with, to the utmost, to show the value. And then a lot of temps are hoping to maybe get hired by the company that they're temping for. Who knows? But we learned later that he came from somewhere else and they were sort of auditioning for both a temp and somebody who thought they were in a documentary. So, Ronald was in this more naturalistic situation, and Anthony was in a situation where he had submitted a tape along with 10,000 people. We're not 100% sure what the casting was in season 1. But did you have a little bit of a getting used to Anthony period when you started watching this show as well?
Yeah, honestly, I think Anthony came across to me. He was almost too kind, too earnest. He just kind of goes along with everything. It's I almost started to think, is this a spoof and he's the actor and the other actors don't know that he's one of the actors? Because it just seemed like nothing seemed to faze this guy. I mean, he would laugh at stuff. He went along with stuff. I was kind of hoping, like I said, that they would flip it, because we knew going into this, okay, he's the one that doesn't know that the rest of them are actors. But that to me kind of felt a little bit anticlimactic. I was okay, we already know that part. He seemed just very oblivious, but they never really made him the butt of any jokes or anything. It was all kind of in good spirits. But at the same time, it did take me a while because I don't feel like I really learned much about him. I didn't really feel particularly invested in Anthony. I didn't really know much about his backstory. He was a single dad from Nashville or something.
Yep.
And he did temp work. And that was about it. So I felt like there wasn't something where I was like rooting for him in the same way. I was just like, okay. I was waiting for something to actually shock him. And that's when I started to have this theory of he's in on it too. He knew all along.
Toby, I was actually really surprised at how much he seemed to care about his work so quickly as a temp coming in and caring about the people so quickly. I mean, I thought he was going to hate Dougie. I thought like they were trying to set up some conflict there where Dougie is this like, Dougie, by the way, I remember seeing that actor in Kevin Can Fuck Himself, so I would not have been fooled by Dougie. But Dougie is this buffoon who I think they may have expected him to not
Kevin Can Fuck Himself is the name of a TV show.
Yes.
It's not something Rebecca says to me.
It's got Annie Murphy in it.
Yeah, okay.
Do you think, Toby, that it was a surprise at how quickly he sort of saw himself as part of this team, accepted everybody, even Dougie, who was a buffoon, and started to care like immediately about the success of these people?
So I guess I wasn't that surprised. I mean, have you guys worked temp jobs?
Yes.
Before?
I have.
Because I feel like part of being a temp is like you show up and then you're trying to kind of figure out who people are and their reaction to you is like a big part of how you kind of feel about yourself and the company and all this stuff. And he shows up and all these people are like very warm to him. So I'm not surprised that he was like, oh, this is actually a pretty awesome place, even though these people are weird. Like they're all just like super nice and seem like genuine people. There's no person who's not likable in the office. Like they all have their quirks. They're all a little weird and stuff, but they all are sincere. They all sort of support each other. They all seem to respect each other and their quirks and stuff. So it's like this like sort of unreal office environment where these people have worked for years and years and years together. And they all like, there doesn't seem to be any simmering resentments or anything. So yeah, it kind of like, I'm sure he was like, oh, this is a sweet gig.
Yeah.
Like this will be fun. And then I guess like it would never occur to me in a weird situation to be like, maybe all these people are actors and I'm the only person but some of the stuff that happens, especially right off the bat where this guy like proposes and gets shot down in front of everybody and nobody seems to be really rushing to his aid.
No.
Except for Anthony. And Anthony is like giving him a hug and all this stuff.
We've never even been on a date.
Oh, no, we went out to dinner the other night for your birthday.
No, but it was me and you and 8 of my other girlfriends. Kevin, what?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, but we love each other. You say I love you all the time.
Oh my God, were you going to propose with that hat on?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I was like, why isn't anybody else in the office like trying to console him? Like everybody's just kind of standing back and letting the temp do
it.
It
was awkward.
It was a little strange.
I mean, that's why I was surprised he did step up because there is a natural inclination in a group of people to find the one you like the least and like figure out who the person is that everyone likes the least and then like sort of follow those social cues. And Anthony did like the opposite. And very much like Ronald did the opposite of what many people might do, where when the guy in season 1 had all the inventions, was like, I know a movie you would like, right?
We made the chair.
Right.
The chair
Anthony's encouraging the guy to come back. Anthony is, he's even like, I mean, he's so nice to the older woman. What she said at the end about him, like, super touched me.
Yeah.
But what do you think,
Well,
Kevin?
I mean, so much of, like, the show itself, like, it kind of lives and dies with the quality of the person that they get as a hero, right? Because there is a chance when they give him the opportunity to bail out once Kevin, the HR guy, goes, like, you don't have to stay around here. He could have walked away, right? He could have been like, yeah. He might also start shit-talking some of the characters, right? I mean, how many people have you seen on an interview for a job that seem really nice, and then after you get to know them, you realize, like, what a dick they are,
or
right?
they're just really incompetent.
Yeah, right. He might have, like, Ronald could have taken that other juror's money playing that odd, tile game or whatever the thing was where, I mean, all this could happen. And so I guess, like, in that way, it's just like hiring for a real job. You think that you're getting the right person. But, I mean, it really is a roll of the dice because you just don't know.
Yeah. So, Laura, we have to talk about Dougie. I mean, I really do think that at the beginning of this, they were setting him up to be more of like a foil or something.
Right.
And he makes a big mistake where he unveils his own hot sauce.
How did you do that?
I do...
The sauce! Yeah.
It's actually pretty simple. I mixed some traditional Jamaican spices in there, Scotch bonnet peppers,
Right.
allspice, paprika.
Right.
And then I just mixed it with a little Taco Bell hot sauce.
So what do you think of this character that they invented here?
Much like the other characters, I felt like they were all such a stereotype of the people that you would expect to find in a small family-owned hot sauce business. So you've got, here's the son. He's disheveled. His hair's all over. He's just like, he means well, but he's kind of a disaster. And then he's in the talent show, and he's talking about this time he was in a rave, and he's recreating that. He runs up the mountain. He tries to go away. You're kind of like, God, are they really going to give this guy the company? And you're like, well, guess so. But I felt like between Dougie and the others, it's like they all sort of fit, like they're so over the top. Like you have the guy at the front desk who's got like the secret snack thing on the side and is trying all these like crazy flavored potato chips. And all of them were so over the top that it was like when you sit down to look at like a traditional cozy mystery and you're like, okay, we need this character, and this character. But Dougie, oh, bless his heart, he was kind of next level.
Yeah, his claiming to be a Jamaican musician was my favorite thing about him.
Yes.
So
you haven't heard of Jive Prophets?
So Toby, one of the things this show attempts to do is, as much as jury duty brought, a lot of lawyers watched jury duty and said like they nailed a lot of the court stuff. This tries to nail, I think in a more satirical way, workplace stuff. And I don't know if you've been to a retreat or something where we've had a bunch of speakers come in. They showed us a couple that we didn't actually see in the show that they actually brought in. Eric Swalwell.
Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's wild.
And I saw the name Eric Swalwell on the board. I'm like, must be a different Eric Swalwell. And then we see that he was brought in. I was wondering like if they were going to do that. And some of the seminars, we know it's satire what they were saying. Some of them rang, like the harassment one for me was like so cringy because I've been in a training like that where people who I work with have said things where we're all just like, oh my fucking God. So what did you think about the commentary they were making on like the American office place?
Yeah, how critical do you want to be this? Like, I don't feel like its ambitions were to be super insightful. So like the whole retreat thing is obviously sort of the stereotypical, like potentially awful, like office thing that you have to do with your office people. Like I've been to so many of these kinds of things. The first one I ever went to, we were divided up into groups by so I was working at a journalism place. So it was like reporters and then marketing people and advertising people and all this stuff. And then we're supposed to write down what we thought were stereotypes about the other groups, which all the other groups took as being like what your actual thoughts about us were. And it got to be really, really bad, really, really quick.
That's like that Office episode about the training.
So that's like the kind of thing that seems like it would have been more sort of skewering the stuff. Again, it's like everything is, the whole thing is a feel-good thing, right? It's not trying to be like show you the dark underbelly of capitalism. It's like trying to be, a whole bunch of nice people, like being nice to each other. Some of it's hilarious. Like the whole talk about the guy who climbed Everest and had his testicles frostbitten was
from summit
really just
to
over the top
summit.
funny.
He was so straight. He played that so straight. I have no idea how he did that.
I was laughing so hard during that.
I'm sitting on the ground, hanging my testicles into the snow, push snow next to my testicles, and I just sat there. And it was incredibly painful. My testicles are out there, and I'm screaming, oh, God! And at this point, I'm like, God, kill me!
Well, guys, like you don't have to freeze your actual nuts off to get our Patreon.
That's true.
If you want to put your testicles deep in the snow because you think that's the way to handle things, that's on you, but we won't ask you to do that. If you join us at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia, you will get all sorts of exclusive content, including the Crime Writers on After show. This week, we're going to have something that's going to play off of our Crime of the Week.
Okay.
And it has to do with physical media. Anybody still have a CD?
Nope.
Or a Blu-ray?
Oh, am I spoiling it? Sorry.
No, you're not. We're going to talk about our long-forgotten media libraries. Other content includes Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast. Right now you can hear his discussion with Livy Burdett on the Lumumba plot. Also, you can hear the new theme music. Remember, not too long ago, Toby requested an Iron Maiden-inspired version of like the Crime Writers on theme song so that when he did the deep dive, and Jeff Brumley and another listener, they both stepped up and offered their take, so both of them are included in the new deep dive.
Nice.
Nice.
Other content includes Married with Podcast. It's our advice show. And Rebecca and I answer the question, should you get rid of that special tote bag? It's a little more to it than that.
Yes.
There's also Something's Off with Rebecca and Mel Barrett, and they are reviewing the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case.
That's over. We're still talking about it, though.
Yep. And if you join us at the Bricker scale level, you'll get another exclusive podcast. It's Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker podcast, in which Laura tries to play the Alpine horn.
Yes.
That's like the Ricola, right? It's that.
Yes, it is. And it was quite an experience. I'm not quitting my day job.
We saw some of those when we were in Switzerland. It was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rebecca refers to those as the Swiss mariachi band.
Yes.
When you had yodeling and stuff like that.
The little yodeling bands. Yeah, with the guy with the horn.
They were all there, and they had skis that they were using. That was the one thing I could have done. They had old wooden skis that they banged together like a little drum.
I love those bands.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they were fun.
But I did feel like it was the Swiss mariachi band because they came right up to our tables and were singing right at our heads.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like, move along. I just want my nacho. Back, Toby, do you remember the time that the three of us were in that Mexican restaurant and the mariachi band came over?
Yeah. Jake was there too.
Yeah. And it was like really embarrassing.
It was a rough one.
That was last summer. I missed it. I was late. That was the
in
time I
Danvers.
missed it. Darn.
Yeah, well, maybe some other time we can go get some...
Tea was spilled.
Tea was definitely spilled. If you join us at the Let's Do What We Do level, you'll get episodes of Crime Writers on early and ad-free. And if you're a deep diver, you get to become an official sponsor of Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast. Tonight, Toby is recording his discussion of This House of Grief. Toby, who's joining you on that panel?
I am being joined by Elise McGovern and Barbara O'Brien. And I'll just say this is an excellent, excellent book, and it's very true crimey. It just follows a trial in Australia. So if people are like looking for an entree into the deep dive, like this is probably a good one to use. It's not that long. It's super well written, very interesting.
All right.
Highly recommended.
Well, wait to sell it. We love that because when you support us at Patreon, you keep our show going, you keep us vibrant, and you get all sorts of great stuff. Almost 1,000 exclusive podcast episodes that you can find back there.
All right. So, Kevin?
Yes.
Does thus end our business section?
Thus ends the business section.
Let's go ahead and fade that music out.
Every bold journey starts with a decision to go. And if you're ready, the Defender is too. This is a vehicle built for more, whether you're heading off the grid or just getting out of town for the weekend. Defender is a true icon reimagined for a new generation. Its rugged exterior is built from durable materials and tested in the toughest conditions. Inside, it's modern, functional, and refined, with smart storage and premium touches that keep you comfortable wherever the road leads. It's packed with tech, like 3D surround cameras, clear sight ground and rear views, driver assist features, and an intuitive infotainment system. With 3 models, the Defender 90, 110, and 130, there's a Defender for every kind of adventure. From city streets to remote trails, this is a vehicle that, like you, is capable of great things. Explore the full Defender lineup at LandRoverUSA.com.
Hey everyone, it's me, Morgan Stewart, and I have a new podcast called The Morgan Stewart Show. Join me each week as I talk about pop culture, fashion, my personal life, and just a warning, I'm going to be giving my opinion on everything. I'll also have some really fun guests to join in on the fun. The Morgan Stewart Show is out now. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts or watch full video on YouTube.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
This is a Monday.com ad. The same Monday.com designed for every team. The same Monday.com with built-in AI, scaling your work from day one. The same Monday.com with an easy and intuitive setup. Go to Monday.com and try it for free.
So, Toby, before the break, I feel like I interrupted you a little bit. You were talking about whether or not this show is a decent representation of the American workplace, and you had some other thoughts. Do you want to just pick that up there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just give you an example, right? So when they're actually think they're going to lose their jobs, like their reaction is basically, oh, we have to keep the gang together. You know, we've got to save Rockin Grandma's barbecue and stuff. But I think like the reality is people in that situation, like especially that older woman whose name I can't remember, if she gets fired, like her chances of getting another job that is very lucrative are probably pretty slim at that age, like knowing people who've been that age, who've been laid off and tried to find jobs, it's a hard one because people think you're going to retire very quickly. And that makes it hard to get. So there's like, in those situations, like these real like life stresses that occur. And that's all just kind of sanded away. And that's not really what this show is about, right? But if the idea is that it's supposed to be about workplace and stuff, like that's kind of reality as far as I see it. And what this really is it's not really a commentary on anything other than how certain people are willing to rise to the occasion and put kindness ahead of petty things, or, I just have a lot of empathy. I mean, it feels like the whole thing is just about empathy, which I think is great, but analyzing like the plot and stuff, to me, it just kind of felt like all the like things that are actually like kind of scary and treacherous about these kinds of situations is just wiped away in the service of putting Anthony in these different situations where he can act in a way that you admire or act in a way that you don't admire, but he always does it in the way you admire. So it works out well.
So Kevin, let's talk about some of the other bits on the show. We hear about Balls Guy.
Yes. Okay, my favorite one was when other Anthony shows up in the morning and fills up his water cup, but it's really a fleshlight. And then Anthony figures it out before anybody else does. But the best part, the coda to that, is when the guy shows up to retrieve it.
The realtor?
The realtor. And then Anthony decides he's going to, because they had treated Marjorie so poorly the previous week. He's like, I'm going to fuck with them. And it's just the thing about, hey, that car's great. Is that a turbo? Which was the name of the fleshlight. So I thought, that he's an ice cold assassin. I like him.
That's the thing, is he wasn't he had like an edge to him. This is why I liked him so much. He did have a little bit of a playfulness, and he wasn't afraid to join the fun. And like when he saw Amy making out, he was like, look, and he wanted to laugh about it with somebody. Like he wasn't so uptight that he felt like he had to continue embodying his temp, I'm trying to impress you role the whole time. He actually did everything they asked him to do, even when it was absurd. Like, go get coffee from here. Okay, go again and get more, whatever it was they asked him to do. But then when something like that would happen, that was very early in the seminar. And he like jumped right in to defense of these people in a kind of like an edgy way that I super liked.
He said he was suspicious of them.
He was suspicious of the redheads?
Of the redheads.
Yeah.
That was also a good fit. Everybody in the video right here.
That was pretty funny.
Right. So, Laura, can you talk about some of the other characters in the office, like our HR guy who gets an earring after his proposal doesn't work out? Of course, we have the employee who every time Dougie starts singing one of his reggae songs, she's like, nope. So what do you think about this general cast? I know you said that they felt very like stereotypical of people you knew, but did you have a favorite?
Right. I liked the receptionist guy at the front who was the inspiring snack influencer, PJ, who was,
That's
trying
a thing,
to,
by the way, real thing.
Trying to pawn off the octopus wasabi chips on the first day and like, oh, you want to try these? And then, that catapulted into the Dorito mystery, which was also really fun. But then you had the, Jimmy from the warehouse who just like kept putting his foot in his mouth, and he says Martin Luther King is the Tom Brady of civil rights, and you're like, oh God, Jimmy.
Halloween was a big day for old Jimmy. These are some costume changes that were regrettable that I wish I could get back.
MJ?
Michael Jackson. I mean, obviously you see how wrong that is.
What's wrong with it?
It's a white face.
But you're white.
But he's such a great advocate and ally.
Right.
Laura.
And then he starts wearing a rainbow shirt after that. I don't remember the one that was like so monotone, that was like so antisocial that,
Oh, the IT girl?
The IT?
Yeah.
It
was just like, like she was a fun character. I loved when she put all the sunscreen all over her face and her little umbrella over her head. So but it was like, you look at it and you're like, these are over the top. At the same time, we've all worked with people like this. Like I remember I worked with somebody once who was very particular about their desk, and they had little chalk outlines or like tape of where like all like the stapler and everything went on the desk. And so then somebody came in and like messed it up one day.
Yeah.
So I'm like seeing this, I'm like, we've all been there with those people when we worked in an office sort of environment.
I just kept thinking of people I work with in my day job and like, okay, that's that person. That is that person. Jimmy was like the satirical version of you, Toby. I kept thinking Jimmy was like, it was like if you were satirizing Toby's like
Toby would think
Toby's
that
wokeness.
the gray area referred to the taint.
No. I'm talking about like the like he's a satire, like the over the top trying to be wokeness kind of thing. How people criticize Toby sometimes in our comments. That's what I mean. He's like the Toby in our comments that people.
Do you
criticize.
think Toby has like Chekhov's time capsule?
No.
That in the time capsule, there's a photo of him doing something horrible.
You think I teabag somebody's hot coffee?
Toby,
like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Toby, what did you think about the production detail that kind of happened along the way? One of the things I noted during the time capsule scene was they played the video of all the people, and some of them had like facial hair, some of them had different haircuts, and Anthony was like, "Oh my God, you all look so different." I mean, that's part of the illusion that they're trying to create. And that was sort of a joke for the viewer, right?
Yeah.
So what about that final episode where they sort of show us how it's all made? Are you impressed that they can hide 100 people every day just by sending Anthony to go get breakfast sandwiches or something?
I mean, for me, I guess the two values to it were, one, you got to see what seems like a relatively simple show is actually super fucking complicated, and just the amount of coordination, the amount of cameras they have. Like, there's all these little things that could go wrong. Like, there's that one time when the guy's supposed to lock his keys in the car, but he leaves his window down, and how they handle that. Like, I thought that was interesting. I thought the other interesting thing, and you kind of get it from watching the whole thing, but like, in addition to getting Anthony, who seems like a genuinely nice guy, it seemed like all the actors were too.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like for people who really didn't know each other, although I think PJ and then that one woman who's like, sort of subtly impressed by the, the one who's sort of business minded or whatever. Like, I think they're roommates. I think I read that somewhere. But anyway, like, they all seemed like they're super nice people as well. Like, it was kind of interesting just kind of seeing, like, once the whole artifice is taken away and how everybody's kind of interacting with each other. And I thought that was nice. I mean, it showed that what you were seeing on the screen was people playing a role, but, in some kind of essential way, they were staying themselves as far as how they kind of interacted with each other and conceived of what was going on around them.
Yeah. I found myself surprised. I mean, I really started to like the show. The first couple episodes, I was not super into it. I really started to like the show. It was maybe episode 3 or 4 when it seemed like Anthony started, like, you really saw like his genuine emotional investment in all these people and this whole enterprise.
He became protective of them.
He became protective of them. Even like, it was like very protective of them. He'd hug Dougie when Dougie was down. By the way, the detail where Dougie and his dad kissing on the lips, perfection. Absolute perfection.
And then they replayed it over and over and over. I was like,
well, it's so good because it's so real. Like, that's how parents and adult kids sometimes react. And sometimes you see it, it's like, oh, that's not what I do, but that's sweet, It was fantastic. But, it's one thing to get him to try to intervene to stop the deal. It's another thing for him to be willing to crash into the room and give this incredibly impassioned speech to Doug Sr. to try to get him just to talk to him for a minute. And he has this incredible line.
Please, look me in my eyes.
Excuse me.
I am serious, Doug. I need to talk to you right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That is fine. No, wait. It can wait. It can wait. After I talk to you, if this is what you want to do, by all means.
I'm sorry.
Look at me. It can't father to father. I need to talk to you.
No, listen. We're making
excuse
this
me.
deal.
I'm sorry.
Please.
I'm sorry. I know that you're new here,
Ma'am,
but we're doing a signing.
Your words mean nothing to me.
Kevin, were you surprised just by how? I mean, we knew he was going to get there in some way.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to do that. Did you?
No. I mean, one of the reasons to watch this is for the emotional payoff at the end, right? And that's part of it. I mean, there's the big reveal when he finds out he's been had and, like, they praise his character and all this other stuff. But that was a great moment because, like, that's something that the first one didn't have. A big moment where you step up in a big way. And he has no dog in this fight, and he said it before. He's going to get nothing out of this except for the fact that he wants to protect all these people. And even like when the what's her name, I wish I remember her name too, but the character like tries to like shush him. He's like, I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't care about anything you have to say.
Anything you have to say, right? And maybe it's because he knows that he's a temp and that he's got nothing to lose. But I thought that was super wonderful. And the fact like how hot he came in and was willing to do whatever to stop that guy from signing. I just thought that was great. That was worth the price of admission.
I'm not sure I would have been willing to run up and down that hill so many times as he was.
Well, that's because he's a better person than you
That's right,
are,
that's
Lavoie.
right. But Laura, I felt like you might be the person who would crash in and just like do whatever you needed to do.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You know me, I just like rally the troops and get everybody going in there, and I think that part was where you're like, okay, this is where we're going to get a little suspense going on here. But the way that they held him off as long as they did, and the army of redheads was so insistent about not stopping the deal, I'm like, okay, this is getting fun now. And so yes, that part. And then there comes Dougie, just kind of lumbering in after the fact.
Dougie.
But, I think the other part about this, when you guys were talking about sort of like that relationship between these people in the cast, is like that woman at the end who goes up and she's like, if I had a son, I'd want him to be like you.
And what does he say back?
Crying, and you're like,
if you had a son,
acting?
he'd be better than me, is what he says in return. Yeah.
Like, are they serious, or is this part of the act? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they genuine? Let's hope.
I think they're genuine. They've spent a lot of time with these people. I mean, I've been on like a 2-day trip with complete strangers and felt like they were my best friends when I got home.
Right.
There is something about being with people 24 hours a day that does like bond you to them. They're obviously dealing with a lot of insects. They always have those little like insect fanny things around. I was really surprised to see that they built that yurt because it looked very real. I mean, everything that they made looked so real. And, it really is kind of incredible that they had a camera going through the woods on a cord and he didn't notice it. Just a lot of
but it's
detail
also
there.
the cover. It's like you could always just say, "Oh, this is part of the documentary," right? And so it's not like candid camera where you're not supposed to. He just has no idea that there were like 47 cameras, and a crew of people hiding. And how would you like the assignment where you have to hide all day in a trash barrel?
Yeah.
Or a fake trash barrel, and you don't get a pee
Oscar
break
the
or
Grouch.
anything like that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more of those scenes. And I feel like season 1 showed us this, the scenes where they were alone and how they interacted. We saw this little bit of them at the end just playing Uno. And it was like super weird with these giant cards. And
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. And like, I remember in the season 1 of Jury Duty, remember like they had them like in their hotel rooms, like they had to film themselves. Like it was a lot of like candid stuff. And as we learn at the reveal, like it's not just improv, like it's all planned. It's not scripted, but it's planned to a certain end. Toby, do you think you could do that? Do you think you could be in a thing and need a certain end and just pretend to be away until that thing happens?
I could definitely. I'd be much better at that than actually having to learn lines and say them. Like the Blair Witch thing is definitely more my. Tell me basically what's going to happen, and I'll pretend like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But you would remember the line about Martin Luther King being the Tom Brady of civil rights.
Yes, right? Yes. That's a good line. There's good lines in this for sure.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's me, Morgan Stewart, and I have a new podcast called The Morgan Stewart Show. Join me each week as I talk about pop culture, fashion, my personal life, and just a warning, I'm going to be giving my opinion on everything. I'll also have some really fun guests to join in on the fun. The Morgan Stewart Show is out now. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts or watch full video on YouTube.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews, all on the app. Download today.
She loves it hot. He loves it cold. However you sleep, the Pod by 8 Sleep adapts to you. Personalized temperatures keep you in deep sleep longer, so you wake up refreshed. Learn more at 8sleep.com.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
All right, let's do what we do. Let's let our listeners know. Should they check out Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat? Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for this season of Jury Duty?
So I really liked season 1 of Jury Duty. The concept was new. It had something to do with the court system. I was really into it. The second season for me, I really had a hard time getting into it. I didn't feel as invested in the outcome, just in the setting. There was some funny parts. There was some funny characters. There were some over-the-top characters. I think there's definitely a good commentary on kindness and the role of kindness in our society that is lost so often now, and how refreshing it is to see somebody who is actually kind. But at the end of the day, I was just like, I've been watching a lot of reality TV lately, and I was like, okay, I could take it or leave it. It was funny. There were good parts, but it wasn't something that I was really like, I can't wait to watch the next episode. So I am a thumbs sideways on this.
Toby Ball, thumbs up or thumbs down for Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a mild thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Some parts of it are very funny. Like, I didn't mind watching it. It's a little bit hard thing to critique. I feel like it's basically a show about empathy more than anything else, which I think is important. Like, I think that's an important thing right now, because I feel like it's sometimes in short supply out there. So I like that. I guess I like my humor with a little edge, and it's hard to find something that has less edge than this show that's not like made for like 5-year-olds. I mean, it's just a feel-good show, right? So if you just want to watch a total feel-good show, like, this is awesome. This is perfect. There's some really funny stuff. There's a good payoff, all that kind of thing. For me, it seems a little bit like not in keeping with my kind of sense of where things are. And I had a little bit of a feeling of like, this is like the kind of thing they would show like parents watching on some dystopian movie about like, oh, everything's okay, you know, everything's fine, while like the kid knows there are aliens next door or something. So I basically liked it. It's just not my kind of thing. And I find it, like, for a review show, I found it difficult to think very deeply about it, because I don't think there's a whole lot of deep stuff in it beyond just this general idea that there is great value to just being kind. And I do think that's obviously a good and strong message.
Kevin Flynn.
Yeah, I'm thumbs up. In a world where reality TV focuses on bad behavior and hidden camera shows focus on humiliating people, this is like Ted Lasso. It is just so kind, and I feel like my faith in humanity continues to be restored every time I watch Jury Duty. It's not perfect, but knowing what it is, a setup where you're just going to put somebody in a situation where you hope that they do the right thing, and they do it each time, you know, it does become very heartwarming. Jury Duty, number one, was my favorite show of 2023 for all of those reasons. It was kind of a surprise. And, you know, I think that this also has a similarly good emotional payoff. Maybe makes my top 10. I don't know. But anyway, I would just tell people, yeah, go ahead and watch it and stay for the end. And also the final episode where they pull back the curtain and you see how they put it all together.
Yeah, I liked it too. I didn't like it as much as season one. It's very hard to replicate the freshness of season one. But I think that the mistake this show made that sort of knocked it down a peg for me was it didn't start out in like sort of a naturalistic, organic way where you thought as a viewer, you know, I would really think this was real. Like, this seems legit. They kind of went in for like sort of office humor, like humor from the show The Office, like immediately. It was very absurdist kind of immediately. And granted, we probably didn't see the part of Anthony's experience that wasn't that brought him in. So for me, it's an editing thing. Like, we didn't see enough boring office shit, basically. We did see him putting stickers on an envelope or something, and like that's right. But we didn't see just the...
You wanted more boring.
I think throughout the show, there should have been more mundane interactions that made the viewer believe that we could also be fooled. But the way it's edited, we only see absurd things. And I kept thinking, like, how can he possibly, until we got to some of the seminars, which like struck a little too close to home to me. That being said, while the first few episodes felt very uneven for me for that editing reason, I really got into it about halfway through when you realize that this man cares way more than he should about people that he has no investment in whatsoever. So that's what it's about. There's also a message about, you know, corporate culture, which I kind of got a kick out of. So yeah, it's a thumbs up for me. Not as enthusiastic as season one, but definitely a thumbs up for me for Jury Duty season 2. Now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast, a little something I like to call the The crime of the week. A physical media company is looking for someone to be their new chief VHS officer. Watch Rooster says it's looking for applicants who will watch a movie on videocassette and report back. The company will send you a selected movie from the 80s or 90s and even ship a VCR to your door. Watch Rooster helps collectors of tapes, DVDs, laserdiscs, and other physical media catalog and appraise the movies in their collections. They're looking for 3 people to pick a film, then take a survey about how watching on VHS differs from streaming. They'd like to know if viewers paid more attention and were more likely to finish the movie on cassette. Anyone interested in becoming a CVHSO can apply at the Watch Rooster website before June 15th. The job pays $250, but yes, you must be kind and rewind. So panel, those were the days when you return all your rentals to Blockbuster and hope they wouldn't notice. So what excuse would you give the video store when you were unkind and did not rewind? Lara Bricker.
My cat ate the remote.
Oh, very good. What about you, Toby? What excuse would you give when you were unkind and did not rewind?
I would just return it to a different video store and just assume they would send it. We used to do that. There were 2 video stores that were like 3 doors from each other in our neighborhood in DC. So if it was late, we would just drop it off at the other one. And then they would like walk it over to the real one. And we just like, oh shit, dude, so sorry. We forgot which one we did. And they're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it.
They'd forgive your late fees. That's tricky. That's tricky, Toby. What about you, Kevin?
I would just say, how dare you, sir? Good day.
I would say, why is it such a big deal? You have one of those tape rewinding machines right there.
Yeah.
You ever see them do it? It takes like 5 seconds. They put it in, it's like zoop.
Yep. It's like you got one job.
I don't know why they were so mean about that.
I had a friend who had one of those in his apartment.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I had one of those.
Because
he watched a shitload of videos.
Because every video you watch, you'd eventually have to rewind, right? And it's like you want to wear out your VCR just rewinding.
Huh. All right.
You forget, like, once you're finished with your tape and you want to go back to the beginning, or you need to take it out and put another one in, it takes like 2 or 3 full minutes, right? To just rewind, you know? So you're like,
go and make a sandwich.
Yeah.
These take 2 minutes also to make a phone call.
But then you can like multitask and, anyway.
I kind of missed going to the video store, like when you'd go there on a date and you'd go pick out a movie or something.
Yes.
It's like kind of
Mm-hmm.
and then they'd be like, that one's not in stock. I'd be like,
Lara Bricker, if folks want to reach out to you and say hi online, how can they find you?
You can find me at Lara Bricker on Instagram and Blue Sky.
What about you, Toby? How can you be found?
At TobyBallNH on Blue Sky, at TobyBall603 on Instagram.
What about you, Kevin?
I'm at Kevin P. Flynn.
If you want to find me everywhere, you can find me at Reb Lavoie. Follow the show everywhere, all the socials, TikTok, and YouTube also at Crime Writers On. Get everything we make at Patreon at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia. Our theme song was composed and performed by Tyler Gibbons, and our editor is the terrific Livy Burdett. The EP of this show is Kevin. This show was recorded in the Caitlin Rogers Project Studio, also known as Studio C, The Closet, in our New Hampshire basement, where we also reveal our dirtiest business practices while under the influence of a hypnotist at a Mexican restaurant. On behalf of all the crime writers, thanks so much for listening. We will catch you later. Pause. Kevin, am I high? Look at my screen right now. Do you see that?
You are
oh my
not
God.
high.
What the fuck?
Okay, so to describe it, on Rebecca's screen, all of a sudden there's an animated duck that you touch and you get
No,
it?
he was floating in the water across the words.
Look at this.
Hold on,
You
let me
move
take
it
a video.
along. You need a video here. All right.
Oh my God.
But he just started swimming across the words. I feel like I was having like a Mary Poppins fever dream.
What did you guys do on vacation?
Did you take those mushrooms that makes everybody see little elves?
I don't know what that is. I don't know why he's there. He's very cute, but I wasn't expecting it. Anyway, okay, we'll just go until 20.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Partners in Crime Media.
Hey everyone, it's me, Morgan Stewart, and I have a new podcast called The Morgan Stewart Show. Join me each week as I talk about pop culture, fashion, my personal life, and just a warning, I'm going to be giving my opinion on everything. I'll also have some really fun guests to join in on the fun. The Morgan Stewart Show is out now. Listen and follow wherever you get your podcasts or watch full video on YouTube.
This is a Monday.com ad. The same Monday.com designed for every team. The same Monday.com with built-in AI, scaling your work from day one. The same Monday.com with an easy and intuitive setup. Go to Monday.com and try it for free.